Hi, I'm Rachel Peters, and my persuasive speech for public speaking will be to persuade my audience that it is important to seek a healthy well being to maximize happiness. Think back to the time you felt your best. What was it that made you feel so good? Was your sleep on a balanced schedule? Was your lifestyle relatively healthy? Did you spend a large amount of time with friends or family? Well, while one or all of those things could have contributed to what made you feel so content, I'm going to persuade you today why a life in moderation of good eating habits, good friends, and a positive mindset can transform the way that you feel about yourself for the better. The food we digest can also play a role in the way that we feel. Imagine heading into work with a Pop-Tart in hand, ready to begin your day versus sitting down for a filling breakfast of scrambled eggs, bacon, and waffles with a warm mug of yummy coffee. You would most likely work at the most efficient pace if you were running on a good breakfast compared with that of a Pop-Tart. Good eating also plays a role in your gut health, which in turn can impact your mental health. Exercising on a weekly basis can not only give you a breath of fresh air, but it can also alleviate stress and increase your endorphins. Incorporating some way to exercise during your week can do an abundance of increasing one's happiness. In addition, a sleep schedule is another large contributor to the energy we have throughout our days. Finding downtime to relax and recharge during our busy lifestyles also plays a role in how we feel by preventing the feeling of getting overworked or burnt out too quickly. Lastly, the way we think about ourselves and others contributes to how we see our life. Mindset also benefits your social connections and can encourage a faster recovery when sick or injured. How we treat our body, the way we think about ourselves, and the way we interact with others all factor into how we feel on a daily basis. Have you ever felt sick to your stomach before presenting in front of your peers? We can all probably relate to a time that we felt so mentally overwhelmed it caused physical discomfort. This is because your gut-brain connection, the response to our gastrointestinal tract, has to our thoughts and feelings. This, however, can be reduced through listening to our body's need. While physical discomfort from stress might not always be preventable, the majority of it factors into what we consume. That is all important, right? The basis of one's health can be determined by the ways in which they consume on a regular basis. For example, through a documentary produced in 2004 called Supersize Me, Morgan Spurlock conducts an experiment to understand how only eating McDonald's for a month impacts his health. He observes a huge drop in his energy levels and experiences difficulty sleeping. When approaching the next meal, Spurlock craves McDonald's and by the end of his monthly trial had gained a total of 24.8 pounds. Now that we've understood the connection between how our gut synchronizes with our brain, we can also note that our brain knows what we consume, as Spurlock proved through the Supersize Me documentary. Let's now discuss what we can do to make ourselves feel our best. We must look after ourselves. Have you ever considered that positive thinking is bigger than just a mental process? Practicing a positive mindset can do wonders to when it comes to your well-being. It encompasses your entire well-being and impacts the people and environment that you interact with. A study done by Stanford psychology professor Aaliyah Crum researched the importance of an optimistic mindset in recovering patients. A healthcare provider's bedside manner is important, and what patients think and expect about treatments can influence health outcomes. They call it the placebo response, and it means that when patients believe they will recover fast, they have a higher chance of doing so. Another way our bodies perform to help us feel our best is through producing endorphins when we exercise. J. Kip Matthews, a sport and exercise psychologist interviewed with CNN in 2016, explaining how endorphins function. When your body comes under stress or is experiencing pain, neurochemicals called endorphins are produced into the brains, and they are structurally similar to the drug morphine and considered natural painkillers because they activate opioid receptors in the brain that help minimize discomfort. In addition to making you feel better, putting in the effort to exercise causes one to think differently and deeper about the food that they are consuming. Sometimes, working out with a machine that tracks calories burned can remind someone of how much effort they need to channel into a specific exercise to burn on a certain type of food. For example, if I was consuming a 210 calorie Reese's per night, but one day went on the elliptical for an hour and only burned 208 calories, I may consider if the hour on the treadmill accurately equated to me deserving one Reese's before bed. Overall, we've understood how our bodies know when we fuel it with good versus bad nutrition on the way that it responds to those nutrients. We also understand how thinking in a positive manner can assist in a quicker and more successful recovery, as well as working out helps us feel better about ourselves and helps us practice more intuitive eating. So the next time that you're preparing for a large feast to drown your sorrows in, or thinking negatively to yourself in the mirror, pause. Make some small alterations, because at the end of the day, you are the one who can improve your well-being.